All right, we are live. This is Bench Talk Live. All systems a go. Live podcast. What's up, buddy? Logan Barbell. Can always count on you being here, my friend. I'm good, buddy. How are you? Where you guys from, too? I know a lot of you out in whole different countries. Sip of coffee for the working man. You know what's up? We just did some filming. Small Arm Leg Strong came by. Big news this week that our family just got a puppy. Me and the wife picked up a new puppy, 7 weeks old. A little bit young to have on the live podcast right now, but soon she'll be joining us for sure. Or he, rather. I gotta get used to the fact that he's a boy. California, San Diego. And where was Birmingham, buddy, huh? Oh, Wolverhampton in England. Not familiar with England. Would like to go there one day. Lincoln, Nebraska. Awesome. Love to come to Nebraska, California. Love California. San Diego. Here, weather's beautiful. I'd love to come out there. Hey guys, if you ever want to set up a bench clinic in your area, all I need is the information of a gym that you might be interested in hosting. All you have to need is a bench. That's really all I need to work with. So, I'd be totally open to coming out anywhere. I haven't broke the news yet, but we are setting something up in the Michigan area. So if you are in the Michigan area, we will be doing a bench clinic near you. Coming to that Kalamazoo area. Not familiar with Michigan, but that's where we're setting up right now. Belfast, Northern Ireland. How you feel about Conor McGregor's whiskey? You a whiskey guy? I like it. I like it. I'm a frequent buyer. Buddy, well, if you ever come to England, feel free to come train in my home gym. Got road calibrated plates. I don't like calibrated plates, my friend. I think they're awesome. I'm just that old school iron kind of feel. I like those deep dish plates. Only got 200 at most though, so we'll have to get some more. Definitely will need some more. Definitely need some more. We'll need a big bar too to fit those things on. Elliot Hayes, Liverpool, UK. Oh, we get some good viewership here from England, hey? So maybe I'll have to get out there one of these days. We have a few that I coaching out in England. I've coached lifters from all over the world, so Buddy Shell, I'm a IPF boy, so it's only right. I got you. I got you. That's the big international Fed. That's the way to go. Especially any other places. I out here in the U.S. I don't know how it is other places. We got like 50 different powerlifting feds. It's nuts. Everyone's got a powerlifting fed. I don't know how it is overseas places. Maybe you just have less select choices, but yeah, we got too many choices for powerlifting feds. Let's get into some questions. You guys want to drop some questions, things to talk about, topics you guys want to talk about? Regina Saskatchewan, baby. AA from Lucas. I have no idea where the hell that is, my friend. I don't know if that's a town, a city, a country. What the hell? We got some questions in here. Drop some cues. Or shit to talk about. Whatever the hell you want to talk about. This is Bench Talk Live. We do whatever the hell we want. Sip of coffee for the working man. Matt's always in here. What's up, Matt? Here, I keep hitting my damn mic here. I gotta readjust my workstation here a little bit. This mic's gonna come over here on my left, and now I got access to the YouTube. How long does it take to get your work sets? To get to your work sets? Um, well, longer if we're messing around. Longer if we're fooling around and shit, shooting the shit. But the warm up, I really don't want to take too long with that, and I want to be pinpoint with it. So I really don't want to go more than 10, 15 minutes with my warm up. And then by the time I'm into working sets, it really just depends on what I'm doing. Max effort, I'm running the conjugate style programming, so I'm either going up to a top single for the day, which really doesn't take too long, or I'm working up the speed work, which really doesn't take too long either. Like yesterday, I was benching with a plate 10.5. So, Really not too long. With this conjugate style stuff, I'm more warm up on the max effort day, but I mean, it's pretty diligent. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm pretty diligent with it. So it really doesn't take long to get into working sets. Lucas, Canada. I'm coming to Canada. We have something set up for October 3rd as is. I gotta see what's up with that. Obviously, it's still we're going to Newfoundland, Labrador, Newfoundland area. If you're familiar with that, that's where I'll be October 3rd as of right now, unless something changes. But yeah, we just have a new athlete on the team from Canada this past week. Brett Potter. Shout out to him. He is a bench only athlete. So we're coaching some guys out in Canada. Let's see what we got from Instagram here. Some questions coming in, buddy. There's probably about 10 in the UK, 3 main ones. So you good amount of, a lot less than us, a lot less powerlifting feds out in other places. Logan said, did my first session in my used loose Titan katana, and I touched to a 2-board, 1-board, and on the last set managed to touch. Excellent. Sammy asked if I have any experience with black overkill shirts. I do not. The only overkill that I've been in is one from back in the day when they, I guess, first started making shirts. When Rudy first started making shirts. And it was Rich Putnam's, and I happened to be there for a bench session. He let me try it on. Smoked a big bench. It was a big PR for me. It was a single ply shirt too, I think, or maybe a modified double, but I liked it. It was very, very stiff. It was more like a super katana material than an SDP. But yeah, I liked it. I just haven't had any experience with the new ones. The red material things that they have out now, or I guess the bench shirts they're making, whether it's red or black, it looks like more of the SDP type material. But I don't know. Haven't had my hands on one. But he says best bench variations for raw lifters. So I like a lot of spending time down at the chest level for raw lifters. Usually that's where a raw lifter needs the most work. That's going to be the weakest area. If you can get strong off the chest, usually you're not going to have a problem. If you bench with a little bit of a closer grip, you might want to consider doing more top end stuff. But I would say things like a dead press or just paused work using a bow bar, buffalo bar, whatever you want to call it. Doing feet up benching, doing a lot of volume, just spending a good amount of time down at chest level. Cyclonic Rabbit, way too many federations, and why the heck does a record not carry over to another fed? Make 0 sense. A record is a record since it's a sanctioned fed. Well, that's the nice part of open powerlifting is we can compare records across the board. It's a big database. I'm sure everyone probably familiar with open powerlifting by now, but you have openpowerlifting.org. You can literally search by any criteria that you want. It'll compare it across the board. That's the problem with a Fed record. Every Fed has their own records, so I mean, they really don't mean as much as they might have used to if there was only a few, because the pool's so watered down. When you have 50 different Feds and you have 50 different records within the different Feds, I mean, now you're talking thousands and thousands of different records that are up for grabs. Obviously some of the big federations, they're a little more prestigious since more people run through them, but, you're 100% raw federation, masters, 40, 45, sleeves only record, it gets a little watered down. Logan Barbell, tips for the first time in a canvas suit or just double ply suit in general. What should the first session look like? I would just get a feel for your suit. I just started squatting in my canvas a few weeks back, just getting a feel for it. The big thing was I wasn't trying to get depth just yet. First session, just wanted to feel it out, break the suit in a little bit. So I was more worried about positioning. You really have to jam your butt back into that thing, arch into it a lot harder than you probably would a poly suit because it's not going to give much. It's like sitting into a brick wall. So yeah, you have to be a little more aggressive with that. You have to have more hip tension built up. Like you have to be stronger there for sure. And don't ever in the shirt. Don't ever force a touch. Don't ever force depth on a squat suit. You gotta stay in that suit's tension. If you're not there yet, you gotta put more weight on your back. But then the question becomes, can you handle more weight? And at that moment, getting into it the first time 2 weeks ago, I didn't want to load up my back with more weight, so I took depth to where I could get it. Buddy says, WB banded bench. thing as what about banded bench? Banded bench is a great tool, and we use that mostly for speed work. But you can do some volume training with that and get heavy with it too. But yeah, I love bands. I love bands. I love chains. I love all of it. It's all got its place. Matt, running conjugate are your workouts around an hour? I heard Louis wants that due to cortisone levels. Well, one, the main work might be done in an hour, but I highly doubt those sessions are going an hour. Multiply is really, I guess, notoriously known for long ass sessions. Oh, keep fuzzing out here. Um, you're usually in for like a 3 hour ride. Our sessions start at 6 here, and then we don't end till 8:39, depending when we can get some accessories in. So it's at 2.5, 3 hours. It's just a lot going on with the suits and all that. I'm sure at Westside though they were probably very diligent with it. I think next guy up, just bang, bang, bang. Um, but in actuality, because I'm trying to enjoy training too. You gotta enjoy training. Over there, it's like a freaking machine. But I try to enjoy training, joke around with the guys, So it's just we're not gonna be as done as quick. We're gonna take our time a little bit. Firing up the grill between sets, not quite, not quite. Usually I already did my grilling. I did a brisket and some salmon this past weekend. That was good. That was good. Tell you what. Thoughts on guillotine press as an accessory? Eric Bell says. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with a guillotine press. I assume that's got to be something similar to a JM press or like a skull crusher variation where you're aiming down towards your neck. Yeah, I'm into it. I think the guillotine press and the JM press are similar things. So yeah, I'm definitely utilize that for sure. Great for tricep. I was doing it the other day. At Deal, tried pausing my benches and managed the same weight as my touch and go, except it felt way safer and stable, close to my 2 times bench goal. That's awesome, my friend. Yeah, you'll find that you're actually going to be better at doing paused work over your touch and go the more familiar you get with it, because you're going to have more control, more stability, and you're going to be able to pinpoint where you put that bar groove. Have you seen West Side versus the World documentary? I have. It was really more like the history of the gym. I would like to see a little bit more of Louis talking about training. My personal preference, but it was cool. Obviously, there's not a ton out there to watch for powerlifting, so it was really cool to see a documentary on anything powerlifting related. Matt says Louis running a sale on books this weekend. Great time to pick that up. I think I got all the books they sell, the little manuals, and then the book of methods. And I'm sure they sell some of the recommended books that Louis has too. I'm sure they're selling some of those as well. So I'll have to look into that. I definitely want to get some of those larger manuals and brush up on that. Thing with me is I'll read a book and I forget fricking all of it after because my memory's shot. So unless I'm applying it right away, that's why I'm never a great student. I was never a great student in school. I made it through. I do have a bachelor's degree in kinesiology, exercise science. But to be honest with you, a lot of that stuff, the curriculum, not my thing. Not a good reader in terms of picking up that knowledge. So I love reading. But it's on the unfortunate side of things that my retention on books and sometimes even videos. I think I retain more from videos, but unless I'm like, I love going to the clinics, like I do my bench clinics. I love going to workshops and those types of things, and I'll always favor going to those over watching a video series or a book, because I'm going to learn more that way by getting hands on and doing more of it. Dry guy. Any drills used to stay tight at the bottom, or am I regulated to spoto pressing, shirt pressing? Not sure what you mean by that. So drills that stay tight in the bottom, or just mostly sticking to paused work. T-shirt pressing he's talking about, which forces you. It's pretty much like a low spoto press, same idea. So drills to stay stable in the bottom. I'd say anything that's going to help your back control. So, like, I like the lying lat pullover hold. You can find that on our YouTube channel. That's a great one because it teaches you how to create stability with your back. Because down in that position, real important that we're driven up onto our traps, we're keeping back stability, control. So anything that's going to allow you to touch into your back better. Okay, so that's going to be key there. Okay. Um, the reverse band bench press, where you're actually pulling the bar down to you, suspended bar hanging up here in bands, you pull it down to you, stuff like that. How deal? How has social media affected training? People max out for the gram too often. Um, I'm sure things are way different than back in the day, for sure. And something I always tell our athletes when they join the team, they'll leave them a voice recording, kind of telling them to how to film things, how to upload videos, and a whole rundown when they join the team. And one thing I always tell them is, I want to see as much video as you can get me. I'll take a look at all of it. I spend a lot of time just going through um, videos for our coaching program. I'm trying to be more efficient with that. There's a lot there, and I do take a look at every video, and I try to analyze it best I can. I make notes and thoughts and change the programming as I'm going along, watching video. So I get very deep into that stuff, and I do it on a regular basis. And the first thing going back to the first thing I tell them is, hey, I'll take a look at any of the videos you send me. More is better because obviously I want to see everything that's going on. I want to see a session, but I don't want it to be a distraction from your training. If videoing becomes a distraction in your training, like you have to go through the process, setting up the camera, hitting the buttons, getting different angles and shit like that. If that's too much for you, you want to just focus on getting into your training, I'm cool with that. Because I don't like the distractions myself. If I didn't have the Big Bench brand and that whole deal, I certainly wouldn't be filming as much as I do. I don't like walking around with the camera and having to film everything for all our extra stuff. I want to train. I'm ready. I'm focused on training. So it is a distraction to me, but I have our business here, so I'm trying to put out content and good things to help you guys, of course. But um, yeah, social media can definitely become a distraction. I think a gym that has a no phone policy is a good thing, especially if you want to get some hardcore training in, get efficient. The less you can handle your phone in a training session, the better. You're going to be focused on what you need to do. The dead time, you're going to find things to fill it instead of being on your phone. There's only benefits to that. So, yeah, social media really kind of made things tough. And, yeah, people want to max out and go up in weight. But I also think it's a good thing because, listen, you've been there. When the camera's rolling, you kick it up a notch. I know that if I need a little extra boost, I film it because I know now the world's going to see. I need to be pinpoint. So it's also a great tool. It's a great tool, but you don't want to overuse that. Let's see what we got coming in. How would someone not part of the gym get some form check of a set for you? So, yeah, you don't need to train here, definitely. All my athletes are mostly online based. Like I said, I work with athletes all over the world. So, um, my business is not a gym. I'm a coaching service. So I have a few select local people. Hey, if you're nearby, you're in Long Island, New York area, yeah, you're welcome to come train with us. Um, but yeah, mostly it's all online anyway. So our coaching program will be the best way to get regular routine feedback. We have the VIP membership, which is tremendous too. You can get some coaching critiques. We post exclusive content there. You can check out bigbench.com. But I'll check out people's videos. You send them to me. I probably, it's going to be the last thing I check because I got so much others to check first. There's a kind of totem pole to it, but yeah, I will give you some feedback. I'll give you some helpful links of where to take your technique next, and so I'll definitely try to help you out the best I can. But like I said, I probably won't get to it super quick. Back in the day, I could get to it quicker, but now I gotta get through some things first before I ever kind of look at someone else's videos. It's not part of our membership or coaching program because we get too much coming in. Have you had problems with short people whose legs struggle Have you had problems with short people? Yeah, hate them. Just kidding. Have you had problems with short people whose legs struggle to reach the ground on some of these higher benches? Yeah, absolutely. First thing is try to train on a bench press that you're going to use at the meet, like same height. I've definitely fallen into that trap of I've trained on a fat pad. So I have a Texas Strength Systems bench unit. I had a fat pad on it, and it raised me up a ton. So it was awesome, right? Because I felt really powerful through the ground and whatnot. You never had a problem with your butt lifting up. But then the one meet that I really had a problem with my butt popping off the pad, and I never had a problem with my butt popping off the pad. So I'm driving back on the bench. But because I got so used to benching on the fat pad height, I go to the meet, lower bench, totally threw me for a loop. Just could not get my foot position right, just could not get my drive right. Really threw me for a loop. So, that being said, I always want to try to train on what you're going to use at the meet. I immediately took that fat pad out. I put in Tiny Meeker's pad, which, by the way, best bench pad I've ever used. Just message Tiny Meeker on Instagram. He makes amazing bench pads. Best pad. Except maybe some RPS meets I've been at. That great cushion, great traction. But Tiny Meeker's pad, spot on. Fall asleep in that thing. But yeah, so get back to it. You got shorter legs. Obviously, try to do what you can to the bench height. If you can't do anything to the bench height, you can wear a heeled shoe, and that should give you some leverage. Or a big boot. A big boot if you're having a hard time getting your feet down. Something that has more to it. How can Hamza Abdullah, cool name. How can I identify weak points on the raw bench so that I can prioritize muscle groups on conjugate? So very simply, try different movements and see what you suck at. That would be the best way to do it. Try overhead press too. And if that's not really up to par, I think a good number to shoot for is 60% your 1 rep max raw. If you're not around that number, overhead press might be something that you want to bring up. But just kind of go through some variation. If you do a close grip board press, does that suck? Does you not hit as much as you could off the chest? It certainly can happen to people. Try a wide grip bench. Do you suck at that? Usually when you suck at something, it's telling you there's a weak point there, and you want to develop that. If you suck at squatting with a safety squat bar, squat more with a safety squat bar. That's how you go about identifying weaknesses, and that's going to do the best for you. So hopefully that helps you, my friend. Dry guy, super arched versus semi arched, and leg drive effectiveness. So I'd always try to go for the biggest arch possible. But there are times like speed work and stuff, I beat up my back trying to do the biggest arch possible, so I will relax it a little bit. But when I'm practicing heavy weights, I'm trying to get into the best arch possible. So there's never really an instance where I'm going to lax up on positioning. I'm always going to try to maximize positioning. And leg drive effectiveness, I think, it shouldn't affect leg drive too much. Because that positioning is really made from the T-spine, getting that upper back arch, getting your shoulders underneath you. That contributes highly to your arch effectiveness, but it shouldn't really affect your leg drive, whether you're a little bit more flat or you're more arched. That's something that is a separate issue. LOL, my close grip board press sucks too. So yeah, that would be where I would attack. Hey, sip of coffee to the working man. Damn good. Damn good. What we got here? Will benching help get the bullies off me? Well, I'd say so. You got to be in your power position, though. I always say, my buddy there, he trains jiu-jitsu. And, hey, I say, you do your fancy moves. You get your fancy headlocks, do that shit. But, hey, if I lock up my power zone, you're going for a ride. You just got to fall into my power zone, I tell you. So, yeah, certainly will. A deal. How would your Larson press numbers compare to the normal bench press? So, feet up in Larson style are going to be a little bit different. Feet up, you can actually have your feet on the pad. You get a little leverage with it. Larson style, if you completely put your feet out flat, I've found you can get close. I've always been within about 40 pounds, 40, 50 pounds. You might even find that you're a little bit closer. So the idea there, Larson press is going to be hard. Feet up, like I said, you can leverage, you can keep positioning a little bit better. Kind of gives you that end cap. when your feet are out flat, it's very hard to, you have to work harder with your upper back, pretty much, to hold that positioning. Because you have no end cap on the bottom to kind of drive you up. So you're probably going to experience a bigger disparity between Larson and your comp bench. I don't know, give me an example. I'll tell you if it sucks. I'll tell you if it sucks or it's all right. But yeah, feet up bench shouldn't be terribly different. Obviously, you should be comp benching more, get your legs in play. But that I find that was a big weak point for me when I was pushing raw training. My feet up bench sucked compared to my comp bench. Completely sucked. It did a lot of feet up benching. Raw bench went up. And it's just finding that weak point. Find what you suck at. My elbow pain when I bench press too much. Is that natural? So yeah, I mean you don't want elbow pain. So no, you definitely don't want that, my friend. That's unfortunate because I'm here. I've been with you. Logan, yeah, we are going to be dropping another code, definitely, my friend. I'll be getting to that. But yeah, to go back to that, bench, you shouldn't be having elbow pain. To dissect what might be the problem might not be my scope of practice to tell you exactly what's going on. We do have some helpful videos if you search elbow pain to bench press. Some things you could do as a form check to make sure that what you're doing on the bench press isn't contributing to that. Some soft tissue stuff that I found to help me in the past. I actually have an awesome video coming out very soon about shooting forearm pain. That's very common for big benching athletes. That you get that shooting forearm pain immediately when you release the bar. And I'm gonna share some of the things that I've done to help with that. Soft tissue work, doing the compression bands, all that deal, the whole deal. So it's all in there. Bulletproof shoulders was a great investment, AJ says. Yeah, so I mean that wasn't really directed towards elbows. Going back to the last question, but yeah, if you guys are having shoulder discomfort, we did a great product that's available bigbenches.com. If you go to our online course section, that bulletproof shoulders course really jam packed with some good stuff. It's only selling $9.99 on there, so it's a great pickup, great investment. We put a lot of good stuff into how you prep your shoulders, warming up, keeping your shoulders safe, developing your shoulder strength, all of that. Oh, Matt says courses are great. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, usually when they initially come out, they're free, so you got to be on top of that. Right now, I'm working on it. It's just I'm trying to get the time to put it all together. I'm working on putting up the Sure to Bench course, and that thing. So that's going to be a bigger sell. That's a $99 product, just like our other bench course, because it is freaking jam packed with everything you need to know about Sure to Benching. Literally, I sat down, I put everything in there. I was like, all the tips to adjust your shirt, training in the shirt, everything you need to know, freaking in that course, guys. You guys gotta check it out. I'm super amped about it. I've been super amped. I haven't done a ton of promotion on it because I want to get it all situated. It's not put together yet. I have all the videos recorded, just need to put it together. But that's gonna be a real awesome course. Really awesome course. I'm so super pumped. So Dry Guy says elbow pain, what helped him was doing high rep band press downs. Yeah, so a lot of the warm ups, just getting your elbows going, getting them warm. We actually just covered that. We have a bench warm up product coming out now that all you guys, if you're on our newsletter, you'll get. But it's gonna go on Facebook as an ad. It's gonna be 5 different bench warm ups based on what's happening. Like if you have a hard time opening your hips, or you have elbow problems, shoulder problems, things like that. You need more lat activation. All these different warm up routines. Yeah, so that'll be free all you guys. Ty Cobb 66. My PR overhead press 200, bench press 320. Do you think PR of bench press is weak? Well, I don't have my phone on me, but I would see if that's 60%. I don't know math off the top of my head, but that overhead press number you want to be around 60%, that 320. Okay. Have I tried Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ, before? No, absolutely not. I would like to, but no, I have not. I've not really done any martial arts stuff. Would like to, like I said, but haven't done it. Hey, sip of coffee to the working man. All right, guys. I'm going to tell you the secret code right now. You guys, we got good viewership here on YouTube. Got some guys on Instagram. So, hey, this secret code, gonna announce it once. All right, 20% off. BigBenches.com. If you want sleeves, hey, you want wrist wraps, we got the best wrist wraps, guys. The Big Bench wrist wraps, 36 inches. I've been using that for 3 years now, since we developed them. Super stiff casting wrap. We have a multi-purpose wrap. You want program templates, all that, 20% off. Good till tonight only, so at midnight it expires. We're going to see 20% off the entire site. You want a shirt, whatever. I always appreciate the support. So the code for 20% off, all right, and this is good till tonight only, is Bench Pup. We got the new puppy now with Bench Pup. So bench, as in like bench press, and then pup, P-U-P, Bench Pup. That is the secret code, 20% off tonight. And then again, those who join us on Instagram or YouTube Live, someone's going to receive a free shirt that I'll ship out to you. Matt said, it said that growing a beard adds 100 pounds to your deadlift. How much does a good beard add to bench numbers? Well, if you know how to use it, you can add a substantial amount. Beard always helps. It's the mental side. When you think you're a Viking warrior and you have the badass beard to back it, all right, then you feel better about yourself. You feel good about yourself, you bench more weight. That's how that works. Dry Guy says he got 10 pounds out of his beard. I think he should at least get 30. So I think he's got a little bit more growing to do. Adil says, yeah, one of us getting t-shirts. So yeah, I'll go in and I'll randomly select out of the people who watched YouTube, out of the people who joined us on Instagram, I will select one at random to receive a shirt. I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, everyone liking the beard. I shaved down the sides a little bit, keep the beard long. I haven't shaved this. I've cut it, trimmed it up a little bit, stuff like that. But I haven't done anything, massive cutting on this since 2018. Pretty wild, huh? I think it got trimmed up a little bit, but yeah, it's been going. Logan says, I'm buying knee sleeves. I need that code. There's Bench Pup, my friend. That's the 20% off code. Weird question, but do you like benching with a hoodie? I hate benching with a hoodie, but when it's cold as ass, sometimes I gotta bench with a hoodie. So, not really an option at that point. But do I like it? Definitely not. It's too much material. I want to be flush to the pad, but it is what it is. And then Quack Facts saying, have I tried BJJ? No, I haven't. How'd it go with your strength? Well, that's the thing. The reason I haven't tried it because I didn't want it to cut into my recovery and or exhaust me conditioning wise or keep me losing weight, and I'd have to eat all this food on top of me already having to prep a bunch of food and shit too. So I didn't want it to cut me up too much. I didn't want to have to eat to sustain all the calories I'm burning and shit. Have I found value in doing weighted push-ups, pull-ups? Absolutely. I think pull-ups in general, great thing to do if you can weight them. Most big guys might have to do bands to help them, but if you can weight them, yeah, sure. Pull-ups are awesome. I've been doing more pull downs. I'd rather pull something to me than go up to something else. Never been my thing, but yeah, I'm definitely for pull-ups. Yeah, so Logan's basement gets cold in the winter, so I'm gonna start wearing hoodies. Yeah, we got a garage gym, so same boat. I think it gets colder there. Not a really great place to warm up. It's cold. So yeah, I'm definitely wearing hoodies for sure. Don't like to do it, but I gotta do it. Gotta keep myself warm, and you can't take that freaking hoodie off when you get hot either. That's the thing, because you cool down so quick. Gotta keep yourself warm. It's like a pitcher. Keep that arm warm. Alright guys, I'm going to get in some questions that came in the other day on our Instagram. I haven't even touched on any of these. You guys have been active today. It's awesome. Let's go with Angry Tomato 28. Differences between closed back You know what? Angry Tomato 28 does it sounds very angry and negative. We should change it to Happy Tomato 55 or something like that. We gotta do a whole workaround here. There's no reason to be angry. All right, Happy Tomato 55. Differences between closed back and open back shirt. And what are the advantages? So I wouldn't say there's really any advantage to doing an open or a closed back shirt. I'm not a fan of closed back shirts really. If you can open it, open it. I think the only reason we have closed back shirts because some feds like IPF stuff like that, they're gonna force you to wear a closed back shirt. That's just the rules. That's how it is. Um, if you don't have to wear a closed back shirt, I would seriously just snip it up the back. I haven't done that with my tight super katana. I think mostly because I was thinking that I might sell that. Or try to part with it after I used it. I haven't yet, so I'm probably going to cut that down the back. Makes it much easier to get on, to maneuver around, to get people on here to jack the sleeves up, you grab material easy. So open back shirt, if you have a closed back shirt, because some just come in closed back, like a Titan Super Katana and stuff, just cut that down the middle if you don't have to bench with a closed back. There's really not many advantages to it. Adam says, I would love some cold weather. Send it down here. Our low temps are over 80 with the heat index over 110 lately. Yeah, I'm not into that. About now, I'm ready for some cold weather. And then as soon as the cold weather hits, I'm ready for some warm weather. So I can never find that nice balance. Gotta go to San Diego here. The weather's nice. Same here, man. I'm getting kind of cold in the morning and late at night over here in Buffalo. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, shit, that's up there, Logan Barbell. Yeah, hey, you're always welcome to come by the train. It's probably 6 hour drive for you or something. But hey, if you ever find yourself down here, you're welcome to come by. Um, yeah, I know the deal. Morning's awesome. Morning, I'm out there chilling, my laptop and coffee, and freaking midday it's 100 degrees. So I get you. Let's go to Hybrid Hillbilly. This is Matt. Do you like to keep your bar speed the same on your work sets? So how I thought you were mentioning this. Well, first to say when the weight gets heavier, the intent is always to move as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter if it's speed work, it doesn't matter if it's heavy work. You're always trying to be the same amount of explosiveness. We're trying to drill into the bar with everything we got. So the intent never changes. That's always going to be there. Okay, but obviously, as the weight gets heavier, you're usually going to experience more slowdown. And that depends on someone's individual explosiveness. So I've seen athletes who play football, have sports backgrounds, right? They're very, very explosive. And they'll continue to be explosive up until like the 90%. I mean, they'll move max effort, and you're like, wow, this guy must have like 20 more pounds in the tank. You add 5 pounds to the bar, and then shit, it just stops. And then you have some lifters who their bar speed's just slow the entire time. And then, they'll work well beyond your wildest imagination. You're like, maybe this guy maybe have like 10 pounds left. And then shit, you add 100 pounds to the max. So everyone's very, very different in terms of that, their explosiveness. It's a lot to do with, I guess, I'd say the younger development when you were younger. If you played sports, if you were explosive with what you did. I know many people without sports background. Maybe they have some marathon running in the past. Very, very slow, very, very slow. But that's why it's important to profile a lifter. That's why I need to see training. It's very important that I have a look at videos, not just for form critique, but so I can profile that lifter. All right. So if I'm at a meet with a lifter, say online coaching, this is why it's so important that I see lifts. Because if I'm at a meet with a lifter and I haven't seen many videos over the past training cycle, yeah, we're in trouble because, you know, I'm there for the guidance. I'm there to program in the numbers at the meet. I'm there to put in the calls, make their life easier, and do the coach's job. But I haven't profiled this person as a lifter. They didn't send me enough videos. So now I don't know if I add 5 pounds, are they going to completely conk out? Do they have 20 pounds in? They're not really giving me feedback if I ask them how it felt. So it's really tough to select those numbers. Um, so very important. I can tell who's an explosive lifter, when they're going to conk out, what's the signs that they're going to conk out, and then we can fairly estimate how much is left in the tank. So Logan Barber, as soon as I get to 90+%, I slow down significantly. Yeah, so I mean, ways to build up explosiveness, speed work is great. But the thing with speed work, most people don't. really capture great benefit from speed work. And also, if you guys are on our mailing list, if you're not on the mailing list, get on the mailing list. I just put out a 12-week bench cycle, speed training cycle, um, that went out email this morning. And it's kind of capturing how we do our speed training with the team, and then some rules for it, some things to keep in mind. I put that all in the email, so that's a good one to check out. And I'm also going to be doing a video on it. We literally just filmed it, so I'll be doing a video on the 12-week speed cycle as well. But um, a lot of people miss the ball on that because they're not training with the correct weight. Okay, 40%, that's a general recommendation. That's week one. That's where we start athletes, 40% your one rep max. Now, some may need to go lighter. Some may be able to go a little bit heavier. Okay, I usually don't make them go heavier, but usually backing it down, if anything. You know, so we definitely have athletes where maybe I program them 40%, 50%. Bar speed's just not there. It's just not there. Therefore, I'm always going to drop it back down. For example, for myself, I'm used to training here at our gym on speed day. Right, my Tiny Meeker bench pad and stuff. Trained at a different gym the other day. Not quite the same setup, not the same chain setup, not the same bench. A lot of different variables and factors there. So I wasn't feeling as fast. I did go up in percentage a little bit, but I wasn't feeling as fast. So if I need to back down the bar weight, I need to back down the bar weight. That's always the number one thing, is how fast is the bar moving. That's going to be the critical thing for nailing speed work. All right, if you're working at too high of intensity, the bar speed's not there, you're doing very kind of subpar volume work, not getting the intent out of the day. The bar needs to move fast, so you need to back it down. You know, I have some athletes who might bench 30, 35%. You know, depends on where the bar speed's at. I have my big bench of sweatpants I cannot wait to wear. Guys, I'm telling you, man, glad you brought that up, man. The sweatpants, guys, I freaking love the sweatpants. Those are nice. Forget what the manufacturer is on those sweatpants. But yeah, man, those are warm. I always say those are deep winter pants. Those aren't your fall weather pants. Those are some deep winter pants. You start sweating. Yeah, those are good. Got some in the closet here. That's our storage closet. What kind of sets and rep ranges do you like to see on secondary upper days for movements like pin press, floor presses? So sets and rep ranges for secondary upper days. Um, if it's conjugate style programming, that's our speed workout. But usually what I do with athletes, if we're not doing a conjugate style system, right, we have our benching day, main benching day, where I'm going to play around with a little more intensity. Then we're going to have a day where we're going to do a little bit more weak point training, whether that be maybe it's a little less taxing, maybe it's just like a bamboo bar and we get some volume in with that. Maybe it's overhead pressing, maybe it's floor pressing, maybe it's pin pressing. You know, it really depends. Do they have a lockout issue? If not, if it's more off the chest, maybe we'll do some t-shirt pressing. Maybe we'll do a Thompson style bench press. You know, we'll do some stuff to supplement that. So it's really a supplemental workout based on what I feel this individual needs. I've also done board cycles on that second day. We do more overload work. Maybe we don't have as much overload work on the main day. I do want to sprinkle some of that in. I feel they could benefit from handling heavier weights. So it really depends on that. You can go a lot of different ways. You know, training is beautiful because you're always figuring out that puzzle piece. You know, so it can make it frustrating. If you look at it through the lens of quick results, you're always going to be disappointed. Okay? If you look at training as just enjoying the process, enjoying the process of getting stronger, it's a really cool thing. I mean, you're making adaptations in your body to lift more weight than you ever have before. It's a really cool thing. And if you enjoy that process of figuring out that puzzle piece and whatnot, then you're going to have a great time. Okay, you're going to have a great time. You know, even when you're in that slump, you know, you're enjoying the process. You're enjoying figuring shit out. Okay, but when you look at it through the lens of, shit, I need these results now, you're always going to frustrate yourself. You know, it's good to have goals. It's good to be determined. It's good to shoot for the sky. But at the end of the day, just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Enjoy tinkering with things. Enjoy finding what works for you. Enjoy trying new things. Okay, you don't always have to do the same shit over and over and over. Try some new things. Spice it up a bit. You know, that's something I definitely try to do with our athletes. I try to give some variety. A question that I ask in our weekly check-in is anything, new, anything new that they want to try to implement, whether it's equipment or a new style of training, because it's very important to have that fresh look towards training, something new and exciting to try, something new and exciting to do. Because at the end of the day, guys, we're not doing this to pay our bills, right? We're doing the competing side of things, right? Um, that's for us. It's for fun. It's for fun. That's what we do. It's our hobby, right? We don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose sight of that, So um, keep it fun. Keep it fun. Keep it exciting. It should be a fun time lifting weights. Feel too much pressure on yourselves. What numbers are you hoping to hit for your full power meet? So I kind of got my head. So my last meet was 21:20 I was at like 265, something like that. I'm kind of going for the Glossbrenner score because I want to sneak into that top 30 of the recent year so I can compete at the WPO semis at the Arnold. Right now, 580 would get you in that. Seeing what I from the past year. So I'm hoping, if I just PR 80 pounds, which I definitely had some on the table that past me, but now I'm also working on a lighter body weight. I think I have a substantial amount to gain on the squat. I don't think 900 is out of the question, depending how the training goes. As of right now, that's how I feel. Last meet was 800, so there's 100 extra right there. Bench press, 735 at this weight last time. Would like to top that a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to PR over last meet. The deadlift was a shit show last meet. I got my opener, couldn't hang on to anything else. I don't know if I'm going to be hanging on to anything else this meet, so I'm going to work towards it, but there was like 70, 80 pounds left on the table, if not more, for, let's say 80 pounds on the table probably for the deadlift last time too, so I'm hoping at least at 2200 at the 220 weight class. I'm going to cut weight for this, so that's something to consider too, and that would put me at a 580 Glossbrenner score, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. That would put me in the top 30 as of right now rankings. So that's what we're trying to do. But that's the goals for December. Have you tried Bulgarian? No, I have not. I don't really have much to say on that. I haven't really tried that. Hey, coach, took your advice about creating a wide base and creating stability when benching, and it was much better than relying on leg drive from quads. Thank you. Awesome to hear, my friend. Yeah, I find that hips are the dominant player there. Hips is what creates that leg drive. If you're using your quads, it's all good, but you're just not going to be able to capture as much because you can use your quads and your hips when you get a little wider. Kind of like when you're squatting too. Louis says in his book, I just finished up Book of Methods. It says the close stance won't build the wide, but the wide stance will build the close stance because you're still engaging your quads and everything in the wider stance, but you're building up your hips and your hamstrings. And that's going to transfer over to what you do in a close stance. So again, close stance won't build the wide stance, but the wide stance will build the close stance. And I think of it the same way with the bench press. A wider foot position is going to maximize your leg drive. It's going to allow you to create more stability, control, and it's going to make you more effective if you did go to your toes back or your feet close. But if you're always feet closed using quads for your leg drive, you come out wide, it's going to be an adjustment period. So that's how I think about that. We'll get a few more here before we end. A few more here on yesterday. Let's go with Lao Strength. What is optimal wrist position on bench? So, for you watching, if you're listening to the podcast, you're not really seeing this, but on my forearm here, y'all can see, my wrist is completely straight. Many people shoot for a completely straight wrist. You can't have a completely straight wrist because if I have a completely straight wrist, you can see, I'll hold this pen. The pen is going to be out in front of my forearm. Imagine that's a thicker bar there, right? That's going to be outside that bone. Okay, we need that weight compressing right down through the bone. We need stacked alignment. Okay, so I can't have a straight wrist. Some freaking dump that on me. Okay, I can't have a completely bent back wrist because usually that bar is going to be too far in mid-hand, bending my wrist back. Not good force transfer. If I'm going to punch something, I'm going to hit it with my palm. So I need that bar deep in the palm, right? But I need the wrist cocked back just a bit. just a bit, so that bar is right in alignment with my forearm. Okay, not completely straight, not bent back, just a little bit, nice and firm and tight. That's where we want our grip, our wrist position. Max Whitman said, "What is your best strict overhead press?" And I believe to that is 255 for three. Might have been 245 for three. I'd honestly have to check. Um, but I was benching about 440 at the time for reference. Ulrich Brothen, let the bar sink into your chest, good or bad? I would say gotta be very careful with that because the answer I'll give you is that you don't really want to think about sinking the bar a lot into your chest because that's when you get that sink and heave. The more you sink the bar in, the more it deloads to the chest, the more likely you are to give up that control on your back, kind of let your position collapse a little bit, right? And you turn into the sink and heave. Whereas also, it's not like you want to dead stop the bar right above your chest and create a Spoto style press because that is intentionally harder for a training effect for a reason. So we want to sink it in a little bit. So that touch pressure is a delicate balance between not giving up positioning, not giving up tightness, but also not taking the brunt of the weight. So you really have to dial that in. Kevin or K Sevi, favorite program for increasing the flat bench. And to that, I will strategically, politically say anything that gets your bench up, I'm a big fan of because there's a million ways to spin it. That's what I was saying earlier. Make training fun. Training is a puzzle piece. Always trying to find the right things to click and the right weak points to develop. And sometimes shit just doesn't go your way. You go through a training cycle and for whatever reason, didn't click. Weights didn't move up. You know, hey, is that a total loss? Absolutely not. Okay. Yeah, frustrating to go through maybe 12, 16 week training cycle and not see progress on ultimately the one rep max or in a meet. In a meet scenario, that's a whole other ball game because a bunch of shit can happen in just that one day. When we're talking training, you want to see incremental progress across the way, which usually is the case for most. But yeah, it's frustrating when we don't see that increased weight on the bar. But take a look at what happened the previous cycle. That's why I always try to go over the previous training cycles with our athletes, good or bad. Bad outcome or good outcome. We go over it because there's something to be learned there, and that's where we're going to stumble on gold. Okay, so it's never all at loss. We found ways that we don't want to repeat. Okay, we learned from our mistakes. Okay, we learned, hey, what do we need to do now to get you better next time? All right, you can't hit gold on the first time every time. We gotta keep going back to the drawing board, doing it over. Hey, look at football. I always relate lifting to football. I'm a big football guy. You know, sometimes you have shitty seasons. Doesn't mean you're a shitty team. So figure out what the hell happened. Get back to it next year. Same thing with a training cycle. Okay, it's not that strength's not there. We just didn't show that strength. We could be a freaking Super Bowl team, all right, and then maybe we go 8-8 and miss the playoffs. Okay, that happens a lot of good teams, all right, and things just didn't fall their way. Maybe they lost a lot of close games, field goal at the end of the game. Sometimes the dominoes just don't fall your way, right? Cookie, whatever the analogies, whatever analogy you want to put in there, right? Sometimes things just don't go your way. Next season, figure out what the hell happened. How can we get better? Same thing with the training cycle. All right, I'm just taking a few more here. Mod Haas, what do you think about hyped and aggressive lifting? I'm all for it at the right time. At the right time. I don't like getting hyped up too much. I don't get hyped up much at all on the meet or training. I'll throw on a song, I'll hit the nose torque and stuff like that. But what's going on in here? It's not like I'm just blindly just lifting with aggression. You know what I mean? I try to channel that when you need it, but I'm pretty laid back with my strategy. And tap into that. If you get to a place mentally where you're just boom and you're just bringing it, you have to tap into it at the right time because expending that energy too is mental fatigue. It's mental fatigue. So, yeah, it's definitely going to take some out of the tank. Logan Barble says, ever try foam press? So I have not tried foam press much in my training. I love the idea of the foam press. I've definitely utilized it with those athletes who might have a foam board. But yeah, definitely a fan of the foam press. You know, it's going to essentially a deload mechanism. You know, the foam's taking up some of that weight of the bar, kind of like wearing a slingshot, but you don't have to really change your groove. You don't have to change anything with the foam. You know, just bench how you normally bench, but it's taking up, it's absorbing some of that weight in the bottom. And you get a stronger spring out of it, out of the top. So yeah, definitely think it's awesome, and it'll compress a good amount, so you can train a nice range of motion. You know, unlike a board press, right? A board press, we're stopped on the board. Foam press, it allows us to get more range. You know, so um, yeah, so that's I guess all I wanted to touch on here for Instagram yesterday. I just want to leave you before we go. I want to leave you with one piece here. VIP membership. Just want to drop the word on that. We just filmed some great stuff today. A lot of exclusive content there. You're going to get access to all our program templates for free, and you get a lifetime discount to bigbenches.com. Check that out, guys. It's a great way to get involved with the team. It's very low cost. It's less than $10 a month to join that membership. Try it out. See how you like it. All right, if you get some value out of being part of the team, which I hope you would, worth going to check out. So, bigbench.com, VIP membership. I really hope to see you there. Love to welcome you into the team. So, there you have it, guys. That's a Bench Talk episode. And really, really appreciative of you guys joining us. If you can do one thing here to help out the podcast, just tell a friend. Just tell a friend, hey, it's really cool. Live podcast Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Just spreading the word like that helps a ton. And I love seeing more of you each week joining in. Really love doing the live benchcast talk here. So I hope it's helping you guys out. So if you're getting value from it, you know, the best thing you do is pass it on, keep growing the podcast. I really, really appreciate it, guys. You're the best. I see y'all joining in. You know, regular names here, regular faces. So really, really cool to see everyone tuning in on a regular basis. So definitely going to keep these things going. I'm really appreciative of that. You all have great questions too, so I love answering. All right, guys, one last sip of coffee for the working man. Oh, damn good. All right, see you guys next time.